Hi, I'm Dave Mountain. I'm an email marketing consultant with Marketing and Advertising Direction, and today I'm going to take you through the ins and outs of email dayparting. This is an impactful and all too often neglected part of an email program, so I'm going to take you through what it is, why it matters, how to win at it, and how to strategize for it moving forward. Also take a quick look at what will probably happen with this program moving forward. So, starting off, what is day parting? It's the time of mail that an email is sent. But the time of day that is sent is it's a little bit fuzzy because when you send it and when the user actually gets it or when the user actually opens it are three very different moments. They may be all in very quick succession. They may be in dramatically different increments. Historically, day parting has been used in broadcast media, where you have much more control over exactly when the ad is being shown. But in a time of time shifting and recorded material and streaming platforms, it's historically something of an anomaly. This is not entirely in your control as an email marketer. However, you do have influence, and you will see meaningful differences from different day parting. If you're not doing this, if you're not thinking about when to send your emails or the best possible times or days to do it, it's an unforced error. There are better and worse times, I guarantee you, from your data that will work better for what you need to do for your program. Keep in mind that, as with everything in the email world, everything's on loan. What works today may not work next month, may not work next year. If the world adapts or there is some kind of sea change in deliverability or inboxing or device use or a lot of different things, your inboxing best practices will change. So there are no best practices in email. There are strong practices and there are methods that you determine future strong practices. But keep this in mind that it's very important to make sure that you know that there's some humility here. There are different metrics that are different weighted for different day parts. So keep in mind that all engagement is not positive. If you send your email at the time when it's most likely to be opened, you're also probably sending it at the time it's most likely going to generate a spam complaint or a bounce maybe. So you have to look at more than one metric on this stuff. This matters because day parting is, to be blunt, free money. Full stop. Free money. Would you like some free money? I like free money. Hopefully you also like free money. I have not met a marketer that is really strongly anti-free money. This is a big lever in email. If you test content, if you test a button, if you test imaging, all that is fine to test, but keep in mind it's only going to be seen by the people who've opened it. It's not going to be seen or have an impact on a testing level to everyone getting the campaign. Inboxing or day parting will. It's going to affect everybody who receives your email. This can aid your inboxing, it can aid your sender reputation, it can also lower your bounce rate. It's all free money. Usually, when you are advocating for a specific day part, you're also not running into a whole lot of pushback from management. Most people aren't emotionally attached strongly to the time of day that an email should go out at. They don't see this as a major infringement on the brand, with the exception of occasionally some deadline stuff. In general, if you are not day parting and your competitors in the space are, and your competitors in the space can be anyone, frankly, because email is an attention market. If someone else is getting the attention you're not, then they're getting the free money and you're not. And that's probably not a good business practice. Even small moves in day parting matter. So don't think that, oh yeah, this is something that I'm sure, if you've got a huge list or a whole lot of hard testing, they get some benefit, but we don't have to. You have to. Or at the very least, you should. The reason why day parting works is because it is part of a story that you're telling with your email that this is a trusted, valued communication and not the same thing you're sending to a lot of other people. The average email recipient gets 100 plus emails a day. We are hunting for the things that are actually relevant to our lives. We are hunting for the things that we want to spend time with. The stuff that is blasted out to everybody, not urgent, not useful. I mean, it might be useful, but I'll get to it. Day parting helps your organic feel. If you are sending something that is not appearing at the same time as everyone else's, that seems more like it came from a person rather than a machine. The vast majority of people who are getting their email are not so disciplined as to have everything organized and removed. Most of us are not inbox zero. As such, day parting matters because you're not getting buried under all the other stuff that came in under the bad day parting. In addition, I've been told by folks at email service providers that if you can avoid heavy send times, that actually is good for the net. No, seriously, there is less breakage, there is less bandwidth than is generally presumed in some of these things. So some part of the strain of email infrastructure is aided when you are not sending at the same time as everybody else is sending. In general, email day parting strategically done is just good for your metrics. It's going to improve the things that you care about. It's going to decrease the things you want to minimize. And again, if your competitors are taking free money and you're not a good moment. I'm also a huge fan of making sure that you're not sending at the absolute top of the hour and also trying to avoid those 10, 15, 30-minute increments after as well. The reason why is a lot of folks set up email reminders for meetings or transactions or to-dos, and your email is going to be competing with that. And those emails are never set in an organic fashion. So if you can schedule your email to send at an organic time, odd number, 2, 7, past the hour, etc., that's going to work. You should also know that this is strategic. Your email program has what I'm certain is the thing that you care about the most. Maybe it's open rates, maybe it's sales, maybe it's click, maybe it's whatever. It doesn't have just that metric. A lot of folks will think only about their open rates or think only about their sales and not take in mind that, oh, if we sent at this time, our bounce rates are going to go up. Or if we send at this time, we'll get opens, but people won't engage. Or they won't multiple open, or they won't multiple click, or they won't convert, or it won't have a particularly good read, glance, skim ratio. It is fine to have the most important metric in your email program. It is not fine to pretend that all the others are not important, because all the others not being important will eventually doom your program. You need to choose your day parts to balance the things that your email program wants to achieve both positively and negatively. And the best way to do that is to know your sender reputation. You can go to senderscore.org to find that out. If you're on a dedicated IP, it will be tracked to what you're doing. If you're on a shared IP, it'll be a little bit more complicated. If you're confused about what your sender reputation is, get in touch. It is an important thing, and it is generally something that you have to be kind of email nerdish to know about. What is the future of this stuff? Well, the future of this stuff involves machines. And eventually, day parting will be based on the data, and it will be based on the user. So my morning may not be your morning. I might be in a different time zone. I might be on a different schedule. And as such, if you wanted to send your email in my morning, it would be great if you could send that universally to everyone's morning. You can't really do that with a batch and blast kind of approach. So that's part of it. In addition, the call to action may be very different. Maybe you want somebody to just view something or take action or send to a friend, that's a different action and maybe more mobile centric than somebody who we really need you to go buy something, which may be more desktop centric still, depending on your audience and depending on the product that you're attempting to get a conversion out of. All of this is going to be complicated by what economists call the tragedy of the commons, which is that if everybody does the same thing, even if that was a good idea once upon a time, it's not going to be a good idea because everybody is doing the same thing. Keep your brand organic. Keep testing day parting. Don't just think that, oh, something else has got this, or we did this once and we don't have to do it again. You do. The current strong and weak practices that I have with day parting as a consultant is to make sure that you are doing if-then testing. What I mean by if-then testing is not just testing two things to see what's better, but test two things and see what you would do if one of them is better, and if it's better by a strong margin. So I'll test an email to send out on a Thursday versus sending it out on a Saturday. That should be dramatically different. If the Saturday wins, maybe you should try the Sunday. If the Thursday wins, maybe you try the Thursday evening, or you try the Wednesday evening. Trying out non-traditional day parts is usually a winning practice, especially if you're in a mature email space where the user is getting kind of used to the cadence of it. Changing the eye line is a term that's used in baseball. I like using it in email as well. You want to balance your send times for sender reputation. You don't want to send only for the times that are maximum open because those are also going to be maximum unsubscribe and maximum spam complaints. Balance some of the transactional, less likely to be complained about emails during some of these other times and have a better sender reputation accordingly. Think about whether your copy should be reported or reviewed to your day part. I've worked at places where we knew the users were spending a lot of time with emails over the weekend, and we went long, and it worked out really well. You need to also avoid the return to work days. If you're sending really heavy on the Monday after a 3-day weekend, you're going to get a lot of bounce that you should be able to avoid if you send on a Monday afternoon. Maybe you don't care. Maybe your list is airtight and not bouncing, but something you should know about. Avoiding the return to work day is usually a win. Schedule this stuff organically. Avoid those top of the hour 15 and 30 numbers. Prioritize engagement. Always ask the users what they think. Always get the click. Always get replies. It helps your sender reputation. And don't assume that something has to go out because you've worked on it for a long time or you think it's very important and the users are going to be super excited, so send it now. If that winds up sending something at 4:30 on a Friday, as opposed to you could have sent it at 10:30 on Monday, there's a real good chance that your now is not the user's moment. Again, depends on your category, depends on your subject matter, but keep in mind that what you work on is not always of the same level of importance as to the user. Next steps, determine how you can test this stuff. Know your list, know what capabilities you've got with your ESP in terms of flexibility on it, know how much your management is going to allow for testing beyond more than just your most important indicator. Track your sender reputation. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it for multiple factors. Strategize the day parting accordingly. Make sure that you're not only optimizing for positive engagement, not realizing that the negative engagement is going to eventually harm your inboxing. Use automation when you can. ESPs, email service providers, are going to get significantly better at giving you additional capabilities for this kind of thing. Keep abreast of them and keep testing them. Encourage engagement. Ask users to reply. Figure out ways to get organic replies to your emails. That's the way to keep everything out of a spam folder. And as always with email, embrace the journey because it's a journey. It's not a destination. If you'd like to talk more about email, if you'd like to hire us, there's the contact information, phone number, email, LinkedIn, and website. Thanks for listening. Happy emailing.